So the House Republican caucus issued a statement about the audit, and tonight I spoke with a Republican senator about the findings.
I find the results of the audit very troubling.
Maryland Republican Senator Chris West speaking with 11 News about the problems discovered in an audit on the Maryland Department of Juvenile Services. The audit reviewed DJS between April 1st, 2020 and December 31st, 2023. It found issues with cybersecurity and also found that in some cases, DJS employees earned more in overtime than their base salaries. And on top of that, the report claims that DJS did not make sure that all contractors had proper background checks. In fact, it mentions a case of a contractor with a previous conviction that should have prevented them from interacting with children. On Wednesday, the Maryland House Republican caucus issued a statement calling for Governor Moore to remove Juvenile Services Secretary Vincent Schiraldi. In the statement, House Minority Leader Jason Buckles said in part, quote, "This agency has a record of constant failure in its basic duties, and they have not once been held accountable. With the hundreds of accusations of historic abuse being launched at the DJS, one would think that they would have a laser focus on those who were working directly with the children under their supervision, but again, this is not the case." Senator West agrees.
Here we have a situation in which the state of Maryland has been sued innumerable times by people claiming to have been abused when they were in custody of the Department of Juvenile Services. You would think under the circumstances that the department would bend over backwards to make sure that no further conduct occurs which could be the subject of future accusations.
In response to the audit, DJS Secretary Vincent Schiraldi said that many of the findings date back to before he took over and says that he made changes to fix some of the problems. But West thinks that more could have been done.
If the audit finds hundreds of deficiencies, as the prior audit did, the Department of General Services should have corrected every single one of them. And yet here we have another audit finding that 83 deficiencies were never corrected. That's unacceptable.
What do you think needs to happen, to get all of this corrected?
Well, it's totally up to the governor. I mean, the Schiraldi was the governor's appointee. He was confirmed by the Senate. He's there until the governor until he voluntarily resigns or the governor asks him to leave.
Now, we did reach out to DJS for a response to all of this, and we have not heard back. You can read the full audit by clicking on this story at WBALTV.com. Reporting live here in Baltimore, Kyrie Stewart, WBAL TV 11 News.